Hey guys, so here is my full face airbrush kind of walkthrough application. I don't want to call it tutorial because I just don't want to call it that. But it's going to be with the Temptu Air machine that I love, and I really want to talk about this and show you guys how to really work this as a full face makeup. So we're doing foundation, we're doing concealing, we're doing blush, we're doing highlight, we're doing contour, and we're doing eyeshadow. We're doing everything with the airbrush. And I find this extremely important if it is something you want to do and advertise yourself as a beauty makeup artist or a makeup artist in general that offers airbrush services. I think it's an absolute cop-out if you do just foundation, and it's okay if that's all you're doing right now. I'm not judging you for that. Please don't take it like that. However, I feel like you should stop and really try to hone your skill and hone your technique so that you can offer it as a complete service, because it's not a complete service. Doing just foundation, and then I've seen this numerous times, and then artists go in with a sponge or they go in with a brush to fix any issues that they may have. They might have oversprayed, they might have spattered onto the face, they may have missed a spot. You know, there's so many things that can happen because airbrushing is tricky. It's not for everyone. It's definitely a specialty skill, and not every client needs it. So however, we see a lot of brides are asking for this. A lot of you guys want to know more about this, and I want this to be accessible. I love to teach airbrush. I do workshops as often as I can, sometimes not as often as I'd love to. I do travel and teach these techniques, but and I'm going to start creating more and more. So stay tuned for that if that's something you're interested in, is a hand-on technique class, because it is absolutely necessary. But I really want you guys to just stop, check this out, see kind of where you could be introducing some extended techniques so that you can really give that client that full airbrush service, especially if you're going to charge more for it. Now, with this guy, I don't typically require my client to pay more if I'm going to pull this out, especially if it's obviously something that I feel is going to suit the job and it's something they didn't ask for. But really, the price point on these foundations is so similar to what I'm already utilizing in my kit that for me to charge extra because I'm going to give them an airbrush foundation just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit well with me. So I definitely am going to talk more about technique, more about how to, more about product, what product is great, what product is probably not so great, what kind of tools are necessary, and I will be doing a full makeup beauty airbrush application with a traditional gun as well, so you can see really how similar this is to a traditional gun. Granted, it is only a single action style of gun, so I went up to this thinking I will never be able to do a full face makeup the way I love to do a full face makeup in airbrush with my traditional Iwata guns, but I was wrong. This sucker, she was like, I'm ready, let's do it. So we did it, and we've been doing it, and we're gonna keep doing it. So something else I'm also going to talk about in this full face makeover is the introduction of the new AirPod Pros. AirPod Pros are the new add whatever product you want into the pods so you can utilize it with this. And thank you Temptu. I'm so excited that you made this because you don't have contour colors in these pods unless you can match a contour shade in a foundation tone for the client, but that's rare. We know, honey, we know that's rare because those undertones aren't the same. We need cool tones, right? Majority wins with cool tones for contouring. So thank you. Now I can use my contour colors from Temptu, and we just drop those little puppies right in there. You're gonna see it in the video, and we're gonna have a good time. And here is some blush that I will be using as well. You can do any type of formula that you want. You can do alcohol, water and silicone. So this is so cool. Like, I need a million of these because I just love them. And they're like, look at this. Wait, hold up. No, okay? It just goes boom, clap, done, okay? And you're ready. You're just ready. You're ready to conquer. And whoa, I'm going like full blown out right now. Let's let this calm down. Let's go tap-a-tap-a-roo. There we go. We're coming back. Okay, so I love this. It's so cool. It's so great. And I really hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know any questions that you have. Please subscribe because I will be having continuation airbrush conversations and workshops. We'll do some live videos on Facebook and we're gonna have a party. And I just really want you guys to know as much as you can know about airbrushing because I see so many of you that want to learn more. There's not a lot of accessible information out there. I want to bring that to you. And so I'm working on that. I'm working on creating a space for that. And I'm working on bringing these workshops all around the world because I really believe in these techniques. The people I've learned these from, some of them have gone nameless because they were just people that I met at shows and events and they just would come up and give me their information. It's just, I feel so blessed to be able to give back and just like let you guys grow and all become amazing airbrush artists. It's not for everyone. Not everyone needs to be airbrushing. It's okay if you don't airbrush, but if you're interested and you're curious and you want to know more, I hope you love this video. I hope it gives you at least a glimpse into a full makeup application without using circles. Yeah, guys, that technique is whack. And we'll get into that. We will get into that. I'm not gonna like go into it right now. And it's okay if you're doing that right now because you were taught that, and I know that it's a very popular thing to learn because it makes it easy for anybody to do it that way. Sally Sue next door, who, you know, bless her heart, she just learned about highlight and contour on Instagram, and she's like, girl, I want to airbrush like that, and you're like, okay, but that takes a while to learn, and she's like, no, but I know circles, you know? And she can go out and buy the products and know how to do it because she was taught how to do it with circles. You know, it makes it consumer friendly. And I don't hate the game. I just want to be like, yo, let me show you how to really play so you could really win. And you can win at being an exceptional airbrush artist, and you can wow your clients, and they will hire you over and over and over again because you're like blowing their minds with this little machine who ain't got no cords. And it's just awesome. So stay tuned, check it out, subscribe, check me out on Instagram too because I post everything on Instagram first, and I'm coming at you. I'm gonna bring you some more videos as soon as I can. I'm sorry this isn't my full-time job, you know, I'm a freelance makeup artist, and you know, I got to go and be where it's at, and then I get here when I can get here, you know, and then we're gonna have a fun time, okay? I love you, thanks. All right, here we go, Temptu. This first color that I'm using as Haley's foundation color is medium beige. Pop off the back rubber piece, slide that sucker into the Temptu Air, and here we go. You'll notice right away that my technique is in strokes and daggers. I'm not doing circles, and I will definitely explain that a little bit better for you in some technique videos. But here's just going to be a thorough application of how I'm doing our beauty makeup. I'm doing dot techniques right here to cover any blemishes, and that's basically where you're allowing the product to come out, you get close to the face and pull out, and over and over and over again. So pull out, pull out, pull out. You'll see that here and some of the other trouble areas that she's having around the chin. As we all know, we deal with all the time as women. And we're going in and pulling out, in and pulling out, in and pulling out, and doing a soft mist of color on top of that. And boom, the dots are gone. The imperfections are gone. It's such a great technique. And as we continue, I'm just doing fading dagger techniques to just create an evenness to the skin so that I don't over apply the product and get a really heavy finish, which does happen a lot with people who aren't used to controlling an airbrush gun, and they tend to have to go back in with a sponge or a brush to clean up. And man, if you have to pick up a sponge and a brush after you've applied airbrush, then put the damn airbrush down. You shouldn't be airbrushing. You're just not ready, okay? Again, I will go over that a little bit deeper in a technique video that I will do very soon. Here we are popping off the foundation color, going ahead and closing that little rubber tip back up, putting that sucker away. Easy peasy. And we're going to go into the Temptu Air Pod, the AirPod Pro, which is so fun. And you can use any color that you want with this. And so I'm using a contour color from Temptu in the SB formula. This is the lighter of the two contour colors that I have. And we're just going to drop a couple drops in there. I did maybe 5 or 6 drops. You'll see that I'm going to have to refill that as we get going. So you could put a couple more drops than what I did in there to get you even on both sides of the cheeks. I'm testing the color out on my hand to make sure that the color is coming out. And here I'm doing a soft dagger technique. That's where we go thick to thin. And the only way you get that tapered tip that fades away, that creates that perfect contour, is by moving the gun as you push forward and stop the product flow. Hard to explain without physically showing you, but I will definitely make a video showing you guys how to do this technique. You can see here we're going down the neckline very softly, the jawline, a little bit on the forehead, just to balance out that color, a little more evenly throughout her face. Here is how you clean this. I'm using the Makeup Forever 244 fluid, which is just a silicone airbrush fluid. And I'm putting that in there, spraying it out onto my spare rag that I have. And now I'm going in with a blush color. This is the Tourmaline Pink from Temptu in the SB color range. Such a beautiful, beautiful blush color. I love this. I will probably put this on everyone that I can until I run out and have to get more. So I'm blowing out the color from before, testing it on my hand, as you can see, before I just blast my beautiful model here. Something that you have to get in the habit of doing, testing it out on either some white tissue, paper towel, or the back of your hand. And I'm doing, again, really soft dot technique and dagger technique so that I give her a sculpted cheek. So it really depends on if you want a cute little bone mean cheek. Here I'm just refilling my color because I ran out. Bone mean, which is going to give you that really beautiful rounded effect at the center of the apple, which is a very youthful effect. Or if you want a more sculpted look, which most women, people, everybody tend to go for. Nowadays, everyone wants that high lifted cheekbone, so we're doing a soft dagger technique with a little dotting technique. Here we are going to highlight. This is Amber Nude highlighter that I'm so excited to play with. These are my first times playing with these contour colors, blush, and highlighters from Temptu when I got my Airbrush pod, the new Temptu Pro Pod. So again, blowing the color out, making sure that I have a nice crossover. Since I am only using one AirPod, I want to make sure that I'm not going to blow a bunch of pink all over in her highlight area. And here I'm just using, again, soft dagger techniques, rounding her orbital bone, which is that beautiful rounded bone around the eye, to really pop that highlight. Really soft. I have the PSI on the lowest setting, so I'm just getting a really soft haze. Beautiful. She's so glowy. It's so gorgeous. Now we're going to go into the eyes, and we're just using soft dotting technique. We're doing the same Amber Nude color on the lid. You definitely want to prime really well here. I did put a NARS primer on before I did this because with this silicone product, it is definitely going to crease. This is really just for you guys to check it out and see it. But for a long wear, it's gonna be a little tricky to get it to last longer. So here you can see I'm blowing out all the leftover of that gold bronze and making sure, boom, that contour comes out. So I just reloaded with the contour to show you how you can smoke the eyes out using really soft technique. Notice again, there is no circles happening, guys. If you get in the habit of doing circles, you will not be able to do this. You will not be able to translate your airbrush makeup into the entire face and give the client the most blended, buttery look that they've ever had in their life. You have to try new techniques. So stay tuned. I will definitely be showing you more of these techniques. You can see I'm literally doing it the exact same way that I would do it with a brush. Now I wanted to highlight her with a little bit more of a glittery highlighter, which is the Champagne Pod. So I popped that on, highlighting the inner of her eyes really softly, down the center of her face, above her Cupid's bow, and on her chin. And here's just an overview look of the entire makeup. It's so soft and refined and beautiful, and her imperfections are completely minimized, if not completely gone, after airbrushing it. There was no concealer used whatsoever. This is entirely all Temptu makeup. Holy crap. Now I'm going to move into finishing her makeup, and I will show you what that looks like. So keep watching. Alright, so here I'm just finishing up, polishing off her brows, grooming them, adding some aqua brow from Makeup Forever. Notice how the entire time I'm going to be using a powder puff. This is preventing any of my skin from touching her skin and lifting any product. I always work with doing skin first and eyes and accessories last, because it is just the best way that I find to get the complexion to look gorgeous. Here I am spot powdering with HD powder, because specifically with Temptu they do suggest you to use a talc-free powder, and I'm using my Millennium Tools Stomper, which I love. And just polishing everything off, I added lashes, well, here I'm adding lashes, lips, liner, and just rounding off the look and giving a complete airbrush finished final look here, which is exciting, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed this as much as my model Haley did. She was really a great model, and just look how gorgeous her skin looks. Her imperfections are gone, all with airbrush. No other gimmicks. Seriously, it's incredible.